Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel at 1 o'clock in the morning my time because my executive dysfunction wasn't working so well with the getting up early to film. So I was like, fine. You want to be like that? We'll do it before I go to bed. So my work day is over and today I'm going to be doing a video that I have seen a large amount of my favorite creators do. I know Alexa Sunshine 83, I believe Beep World, I know that Carrie Dayton did, and that is going through their either best or favorite thrift secondhand finds have been of the year 2024. I'm calling my one secondhand rather than just thrifted because some of the pieces that I'm going to be talking about are things that I purchased either at a consignment style secondhand store like Clothes Mentor or Plato's Closet, as well as some things that I have purchased on online reselling platforms such as Mercari. I don't ever want to come on here and be like, everything I have is thrifted, because I do believe that there needs to be a distinction between not just thrifting and secondhand, but like even secondhand online, because that is such a wide area of possibilities and you just have a lot more options when you're going into the internet rather than in the physical depths of Goodwill. So I just wanted to come on here and share some of my absolute favorite finds, either things that have just brought me so much joy, but honestly, pretty specifically, a lot of things that have just had really utilitarian use in my wardrobe, things that I have worn over and over again, and things that once I have to put them aside seasonally, I know they're things that I'm going to be just as excited to be reaching for in 2025, 2026, depending on the weather and how warm climate change makes it in Virginia. I will definitely leave all of those creators down below. I love seeing thrifting, secondhand, everything, talking about clothes, talking about fashion. Leave all that down below, but I love hearing myself talk. So let's just get on and actually talk about some of these favorite things. We're gonna start out of the gate really simply, and this one counts, although I have had these things for the least amount of time in all of these items. And I gotta admit, most of this stuff is gonna be stuff that's been within like the last 4, 5, 6 months. I've got brain damage. I have depression and anxiety and a variety of all other things. So I'm incurring -1 brain damages just about every day. So thinking back that far is a little out of grasp, but two things that people are probably going to be like, well, this is really simple, not really that mind-breaking. But these two scarves, I believe it was Alexa Sunshine 83 who commented about thrifting a scarf and the skinny scarf being in kind of that like 90s Y2K vibe. This one I got at a little antique place for $3. This one, I believe I got at my food bank thrift store for probably around a similar price point. And while I love the fact that these allow me to indulge in that fun, kind of kitschy Y2K styling, they have also been incredibly practical, because with Virginia, it's typically not cold, but when it does get cold, it gets really cold. And I grew up in the generation of clothing where our parents would desperately ask us to put a jacket on, and we're wearing just a whatever jeans and a t-shirt. We're fine. It's fine. I'll put on a little vest. And so when it comes to styling my outerwear and making my winter, colder month outfits looking a little bit more stylized, a little bit more elevated, a little bit more accessorized, a little bit more me, I have just been absolutely obsessed with this one, the green ombre. Absolutely perfect. I do love the cool blues. Again, these have just been, I am so excited to look for and find more $3 scarves, because God forbid I went on Mercari and was like, Y2K striped scarf, $35. I love the texture. I love the pattern. I think they do add a little bit of something to an outfit. And these have just been, again, it's cold out there. We had like 10 inches of snow, and I had to go out to work in freaking 10 inches of snow. And the guy that plowed our parking lot decided to take a bunch of that snow and pack it up against the back of my 2004 Honda Civic. So I'm out there and it's cold, but I look cute. One of my least expensive but most worn finds is this Land's End men's corduroy jacket of some sort. I'm not sure if this qualifies as being a barn jacket. I know that that's really, really in. I really like that look. I don't know if this is that. This was $3 and it has been my main, like, we have layers before we go out when it's cold, and this is the main over the top. This is the jacket that I have been reaching for. I have worn it with just about, I mean, this is just the jacket that I've been wearing. The cost per wear on this is probably at like pennies per wear at this point, because it was in fact $3 and I have utilized it so much. I haven't done yet, but I've got a styling video talking about casual outfits that I've been wearing and enjoying, and like outfits I've been wearing to work. And 99.999% of them are going to be with this jacket over top of it. It just, I love the way it looks. It's got this nice, very vintage, relaxed feel. Really nice quality. I was hoping to wash these things before we did this, but that didn't happen. So they might look a little worn in for me literally wearing it. I mean, this is the jacket I wear to work every day, and I love it because it's warm, it's oversized, but it's also me. It's so me. If I could get this in green and purple and blue, I would be so set for everything wintertime. And in that same vein, I don't think I will have the haul up because I pre-record all my videos, because I have a 9 to 5 or a 3 to an 11. I have an actual job and a work whatever that I film when I can and I post when I can. So I don't know if the haul will be up, but another $7. One of my most worn, like, I bought it and I wear it. I just, these things just were purchased and then immediately put repeatedly on my body. I love them style-wise. I love the utilitarianism. I love the fact that I've got jackets now that are practical, but are also very cute and exude my style in a simplistic but realistic way. Apparently I saw somewhere when searching for doing trends, this like Sherpa, whatever this is coming back in trend, though I feel like that's going to be a micro trend, a trend that's just like, oh, we don't know what we're going to talk about, so something's got to be trending. I guess we'll make it whatever the fuck this is. Another Land's End, again, for the price I paid for it, how much use I've gotten out of it. When I have to pack up all of my winter things, all of my sweaters and all of my coats and my jackets that I've been really getting into, it's gonna be sad. There's gonna be taps playing in the background while I'm just, you go. So much use, so much wear. I don't really post a lot on Snapchat, but if you have seen me there, you have seen these things. I definitely have to give credit where credit is due to several sweaters I like to wear. Luckily at my job we have our work shirts, but my boss is pretty chill about what I'm wearing. So long as we can see the work shirt, I can wear my own pants. I've got a sweater, I've got my tank top underneath. He's fine with all the different kinds of jewelry that I wear. For the kind of job I have, I'm pretty lucky to be as creative with my dress as I'm allowed to be. And there is this is an example of a secondhand find, not a thrifted. This is from Unif, one of my favorite brands. I love finding them secondhand. And this sweater was expensive. I believe it was $85, but that cost per wear for this, the amount that I have worn this and the compliments. I had one guy come into the hotel and he's like, I like your sweater. It looks like Scooby-Doo. And I was like, damn, you right. I love the color of this here, the flowers, the high collar. I have worn and abused. And again, I'm not fairly easy on my stuff. You know, I'm not easy on my handbags. And when it comes to my clothes, while I do take care of them, you know, it's like you wear them, you know, if you're wearing some, especially when it comes to like outerwear and whatever. And I feel like it's a testament to quality when you can wear it all day, every day, multiple, like I wear the brown one every day, that green one. This one for a while, I was wearing at least 2 to 3 times a week. I do like changing up my sweater, feeling a little fancy something at work, depending on my mood. But this is definitely one of the most reached for ones in my sweater collection. It's just like, do we know what kind of sweater we want to wear? No. Well, then let's wear this one. Another favorite work sweater, but on a much lower price point. This one I got at Clothes Mentor. It's just this beautiful hooded, whatever this kind of knit is called. My mom had a yellow sweater like this, except it was buttons when I was a child. And when I saw this, it had so much joy written over it. It was a very happy feeling piece of clothing. And I absolutely love this sweater. I absolutely love the shade of yellow. I don't think it's too crazy. It doesn't wash me out. It's a bit more like a golden yellow rather than like a soft butter yellow, which is apparently trending, and I don't think butter yellow would really do it for me. But again, this is just another example of something that I got and I have been wearing it repeatedly ever since. This one is in a pile of sweaters that I need to wash because I like to wash them all together on a very light cycle, and then we have to lay them out to dry, nice air dry on some towels, turn them every once in a while to make sure they don't shrink and die. But it is smelly, it is dirty, it has been worn to oblivion. It's got like little baby tomato stains on here, and again, if you've been on Snapchat, you have definitely seen me wear this. All of these sweaters I've worn to work, but I also like them. I think they're stylish enough just to be worn as clothing, other than just like, oh, this is my clothing. This is my practical clothing I have to wear. It's style and substance. I have to talk about 2 pairs of shoes that have really taken me through it this year. Y'all know that I am a huge Doc Martens person. I don't think it'll be out yet, my Doc Marten collection video. But one pair that I have are just this simple, basic black pair. I believe these ones are, yes, made in England. I do try very hard to go for the vintage made in England ones because after doing research and trial and error, I find that those ones are the best and most consistent quality. I highly recommend checking out Rose Anvil. He's a YouTuber who has gone on and beyond the call of duty to literally tear apart every type of Doc Marten and give you the ins, outs, and histories and everything. I credit the majority of my knowledge about Doc Martens to him and those videos. But typically I like brown, and I was in the market for a black pair. I didn't want to get like a classic, just like the eyelet boot one, because I feel like, you know, sometimes just the classic can skew a little neo something. And I remember when I was looking through and sending pictures to my girlfriend, it'd be like, what do you think about these? I don't want to look like a neo something. And she was like, look at yourself and the rest of you. Okay, all right, I guess that is taken into consideration in the whole picture as well. I love that these are it's a boot, but it's a shoe. I mean, strictly speaking, every shoe is a shoe, but it's just kind of got that less traditional, just straight up eyelet boot Doc Marten. It is kind of more of almost like a sneaker shape. And although they have fuck all for traction, which I have especially learned since our gravel driveway has been a sheet of ice since we've had the snow, and you gotta walk gripping your toes. There ain't hardly any grip on the bottom of these. But that being said, they're waterproof. They're not steel toe, but they've got a real good strong toe on them. And they have gone with I love them with my black. I wear these to work. These are like work shoes, but my Doc Martens are what I wear every day. So it's work shoe as well as fashion shoe. They look great with my black boot cut pants. I love them. And I have lots of styling inspiration wearing them with dresses and skirts with cute little crew socks. I love me a little bit of feminine and a little bit of grunge and a little bit of edge. My mom always hated it. I'd be like, look at this beautiful flowing ensemble and this beautiful skirt and this beautiful dress. Let's put a combat boot underneath it. And my mom would just, and then worn probably even more are, these are probably my favorite pair of Doc Martens that I have. I really need to take some time to clean them up and to condition them and oil them. Like I said, we've had snow and ice and nastiness and sand and salt. And so I'll probably want to wait until that goes away and then take some time to clean them up. But these, used and abused and worn, you have definitely seen these on Snapchat because, again, I've got my Doc Martens and I love all of them, but if there's a pair that I'm just gonna reach in and pull out and do every single time, it is this pair. I love the double thick sole here. They've got the eyelets. They are extremely comfortable. The jury is in and out, I feel, on the comfortability of Doc Martens because I really believe it is extremely subjective, being who's wearing them, what year they were made, which style they are. If someone comes on and is like, all Doc Martens aren't comfortable, I would be a little bit more lend toward believing them versus someone who comes on and says they're all comfortable. I believe it does really vary. But for me, these are fantastic. I love how they look. I love just that chunky, big, clunky boot. Again, with my pants, basically, I mean, I wear pants most of the time, but even with skirts, you want that little edge peeking out from under the skirt, making it a little grounded, a little grungy, a little alternative. Because like, what else would be perfect than like a brown skirt or a green skirt with this outfit, and then you pop a pair of these on there, get you a matching looking bag, and you are good to go. Like I said, I've got brain damage, so I don't have really good sight back to, like, thinking back to the beginning of like 2024, that just but I definitely have some basics here that I have been wearing in the warmer months previous to this, as well as cooler months as well. This Hawaii shirt from Brandy Melville. This was in, I believe, my entirely secondhand haul, or it may have been a secondhand and thrifted haul. I love this shirt so much. This is a perfect example of how I like my baby tees to fit. It comes at a great spot there. I love the sleeves, everything. It's a good color on me. If I don't know what kind of top I want to wear, but I want a top that's got a little bit of something, definitely this. Two secondhand ones that have been in permanent rotation since I've got them because they were such great basics. These were both from Clothes Mentor at two different times, funnily enough. But I mean, it's like, if I like it, I'll just get it in a slightly different color. These are just absolutely perfect. They look fantastic with jeans. I love these with my more higher waisted just guy corduroys. I'm a 34 and they tend to hit a little bit on my natural waist there, and these just hit that real good. I love them both with skirts and with layering. These are just really utilitarian and great basics that are something that, again, being able to find it secondhand versus trying to go somewhere firsthand to get a basic, it feels really, really good when you bring it into your wardrobe, and it does get a large amount of rotation through various outfits and different incarnations, as well as being something that you just know you can throw on and wear with a pair of jeans every other day because it looks good. Also secondhand, but this one here was from Plato's Closet. Basically, it's the same thing except green, and it has a bit more texture. I guess this is kind of like a waffle texture. For being someone who claims they like fashion, I don't have a lot of terminology down, but these have just been, again, those fantastic staples that I've been able to have. And I'm pretty sure I got most of these about maybe halfway through the year, or a little bit, yeah, about halfway or a little bit earlier than halfway through the year. And they have just gotten a lot of use and a lot of rotation in my closet. And these are some of my favorite things to thrift, honestly, because there is little I love more than a basic and a repeated basic in my collection. If I like it, I'll just get it in a slightly different color. I had to include This one here, I haven't even seen The Mandalorian. Y'all can roast me down below. One of my best friends, Billy, he was like, I think you should watch it. And I'm like, I'm autistic and I have issues with watching new things that have certain levels of high stakes. I'm one of those people that I like watching the same thing over and over and over again. Although my girlfriend does give me shit because as I am all like, oh no, not the intensity. I can't do it. One of my comfort franchises is Saw. And so I guess it's certain kinds of new things. But I actually found this at a Goodwill. I didn't even try it on. My mom and I were there and she got a phone call that she needed to go somewhere and do something. And so she was doing her thing and it was just like, I saw it and I was like, oh, that's really cute. And I pulled it off the thing. And this is one of my favorite. I wore this so much because it's a tank top, which is basically what I can live in the summertime in Virginia because it's awful, but it's got a little something more to it. It's got a little jazz. And let me tell you, this make my boobs look really good. And how do I know it? Because I think they look good. And every time I wear it, my girlfriend tells me they look good. And if I don't love that in a top, I don't know what else is going to sell me on it. If it's ever a top that I try on and it turns into a, ooh, doesn't look good, because I got issues with these things. They don't always look good to me. And it is, just straight up the perfect color as well. I mean, it's absolutely fantastic. And again, this was like $3, so we've definitely gotten it to like pennies a wear. This video should just be entitled My Favorite Outerwear. Another secondhand. This one was from, I believe was from Plato's Closet, and it is just, this is the one that I got before this one because I was looking for something a bit textured, kind of like a la kin the IMG coat that everyone was all whatever about at one point. And this one did have a little bit of that texture, but what I loved, obviously, the color and that if this doesn't scream vintage Delia's catalog, I don't know what does. I am really and have been really into and am still into in investing in jackets rather than like coats so that I can have things that are lighter and layerable but still me rather than just having to haul on one big entire coat. And this is another one that had been seen frequently under that big old brown thing. That big old brown thing, I'm going to be buried in that. The color of green is perfect. It's white, but kind of skewing a little bit cream, maybe potentially. I could just be lying to myself. I'm not really a person who I don't enjoy white. I like it sometimes in contrast, but like a entirely white piece of clothing will probably be the farthest thing out of my comfort zone ever. But I think with the green, it does come off maybe a little mellower and not quite as harsh, which is another thing I don't like about white. And it would be very unfair if I did not include at least one handbag, and this is definitely one of the main reasons why this is not talking about thrift, but secondhand finds, because a lot of my handbags are expensive and I source them secondhand via the Real, Fashion File, Mercari, Poshmark. I bought them from everywhere, but it's an expensive bag. But that being said, this is my birthday present, and oh my goodness, I have carried this bag at least 4 months out of the year. I know before I did my review, I was hauling this thing around for at least 2.5 months straight, and I was getting to the point where I was like, I need to do the review so I can use something else because I love you. But I also like rotating my handbags for style reasons. This is the Mulberry Belted Bayswater. I will leave my review down below. I love this handbag. I find that for me and my work and how I like to style, I really enjoy investing in a good quality work handbag that's going to be something that I can use and abuse. This year, I'm looking to not bring in a lot of handbags because handbags take up a lot of real estate and I have a lot of handbags. I am looking into getting the Dooney & Bourke Emily tote, but in the larger size. I have the small one, which I absolutely love, and I think that after using that, I would love the even larger one because I love me a big, large fucking handbag. We know this. Absolutely love this. If you are a lover of handbags, a lover of quality, a lover of leathercraft, I highly, highly recommend looking into Mulberry. I've gotten Mulberry off of The Real Real, off of Fashion File, also from Mercari as well as Poshmark. And this really was the like big bag investment I had in 2024, and it has seriously served me so freaking well. It's one that I love. The color, the shape, the structure, maybe in the contending for one of my top 5 favorite handbags. Just over and all in all, it has just been a good purchase that, again, if I calculate and take into consideration just how much I have used this, the cost per wear, I should probably try to think about how to calculate that. But I know without even calculating it that it is a good ratio. I could honestly go on and talk about so many different secondhand and thrifted finds that just bring me so much absolute joy. But I did want to focus on things that were a bit fresher in my mind and things that I know that I had been using very regularly to really express to you guys, that these are some of the best things that I've got, not just because I'm like, oh, look at this amazing thing that I found that's going to sit here and be fancy, but things that I've found that have really had a positive impact on not only my styling, but also the practicality within my wardrobe. I love being able to find things that are me and really do showcase who I am as a person via decorating my flesh prison that I can use just in an everyday. So even though I'm just like all bundled up and cold and snow and whatever, they're like, it still looks like me. I'm like, still being authentic. But I just really wanted to get this out to you all. I really enjoyed watching all of those other creators do their favorites and talking about sustainability and secondhand shopping. It's just been a type of content that I've been really enjoying and content that I'm embodying and want to then give back to you all. Thank you so much for joining me late at night after work talking about some of my favorite secondhand finds. Thank you all so much for watching. I love you. And as always, keep it real. Mwah.